Today on Wrench Every Day, I'm finally addressing my heat soak issue with a little help. What's going on, guys? It's Andrew with Wrench Every Day. Thank you so much for hanging out with us today. If you're new to the channel, if you like what you see, consider subscribing. Now, today we're working on my 2014 Ford Focus ST, and for about a year now, I've been complaining about the heat soaking issue that these cars are so well known for. My intake temps are really high. It's sucking in a bunch of hot air and I'm losing power almost immediately, especially because I live in Florida where it's really warm and I'm losing power and I'm not able to do constant pulls. So we're here in Valdosta, Georgia today at Steeda's manufacturing plant. They're gonna help me address this issue, so let's head inside. What is going on, man? This is Jigger. He's part of the sales team here at Steeda. You doing all right, man?
Yes, sir. How about yourself, Andrew?
Doing well, man. It's a little warm out today, and I think maybe my car needs some help in these higher temperatures.
Well, that's what we're here for. You know, welcome to Steeda. As you can see, this is our facility. We originated back in '88. As most of you already know, the company headquarters started off in Pompano Beach, Florida, and now we are located in Valdosta, Georgia. We're looking at a 100,000 square foot facility here. Full manufacturing shop. We have a powder coating oven out back. We do our own welding. We also have a full installation shop, which you're going to be a part of this afternoon.
So basically, you basically have 100,000 square feet of car guy heaven.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. It's exactly what it is. You know, it's like a kid walking into a candy store all over again, 30 years down the road.
So I see you have a couple of cars here in your showroom. What are these about?
So these are all cars that we have raced at one point in life. They're just older now. We kind of use them for showpieces. We leave them in the showroom out front. This car has a 1.9 liter Whipple on it. This is the first Whipple kit for S197 that was made that was 50 states legal. We worked hand in hand with Whipple and Ford on this car to make it 50 states legal, carb legal for mostly California residents. So we have our 2001 GT here that's seen a lot of track days, as you can see with the paint chips on the front end. As you can see here, it is fitted with a centrifugal Paxton. Look here, we got Scott Boda, our Director of Engineering and Manufacturing.
What's going on, man?
Hey, what's going on, partner? How you doing?
Doing all right, man.
All right. We're checking out what? Our
2001 GT.
Yes, we call it our Wolf in Sheep's Clothing. It's actually got a backup, fully forged race motor in it. Basically in development back in '99, early 2000s. We used this car to test a lot of the parts on the street where we had our gutted race cars with full cages. So yeah, this has a backup, fully forged motor, big Brembo brakes, 2-piece rotors. It's been on Daytona, Sebring, Homestead, you name it, but it's still got the factory leather interior, AC, heat, power, everything. It's one of the cars that'll always be in our stable, so to speak. This one I wish we wouldn't keep in the showroom because I like to use this on date night sometimes, but it's a 2013 Mustang with a Vortex supercharger, full Steeda suspension. Probably makes about, I don't know, 650 at the tire.
Is that all?
Still has, just take over 15,000 miles on it. It smells new inside the car. So this was Dario's personal car, and he did request that it be kept in the showroom, unfortunately. If you guys want to see how we make some of these parts and what we're going to do to your Focus ST, we'll take you in the back and show you how it's made.
Well, yeah, if you like red, you'll love my temperature gauge right now.
That's right. We're going to try and get those air intake temps a little lower.
So now we're going into the warehouse?
Yes, we are. You see a little bit of history of Steeda here on the walls. In fact, this is the car that put Steeda and Dario on the map back in 1995. It was the first production-based Mustang to win a Trans Am Series race in over 20 years at Texas Motor Speedway. So it was that catapulted Steeda to where it is today, with us doing a lot of work with Ford Performance, Ford Racing, and several of the big aftermarket companies, Shelby, Roush, things like that. The Steeda manufacturing facility is sitting on just under 30 acres. We're inside our 100,000 square foot manufacturing facility. We got a couple of our developmental cars This being our number 20 S197 road race car. Started as a body in white. What that is a complete shell of a car from Ford. No windows, no, you got doors, but you don't have any door handles, things like that. We built a rotisserie for it. We were able to stitch weld the entire chassis, built the cage in-house for it. It sports a fully forged motor, Vortex supercharger, big stop tech brakes, Tremec transmission, Nitto gives us the rubber so we can grip those corners with it. And now it's kind of retired. Behind me is probably one of our favorite project cars, is a good friend Donnie Gilder's car here. He is a local customer, reached out to us, longtime drag racer. I think he said he's had over 30 different Mustangs. Scott, I'm gonna put big turbos on it. I wanna go fast. And I need a way to harness all that horsepower. So he reached out to us at Steeda, did the full suspension on the car. Car makes 1,261 horsepower to the rear tires. It's a fully streetable car. It's got AC, it's got heat, it's got a full interior in it. It's done the quarter mile in 8.6 seconds at over 160 miles an hour. And it weighs over 3,800 pounds. So it's not a gutted out race car.
So now that brings us to this. This is a race car, right? Race car?
Yeah, it's a race car. Full-blown race car here. We were lucky enough to have them stop by. We're gonna do our Steeda front mount intercooler. As everybody knows, turbos run off the exhaust manifold. It's gonna spool up, it's gonna create air pressure, it's gonna shove it down the throat of the motor. We're gonna make more horsepower, right? Biggest downfall with a turbo is heat. So it goes through an intercooler. We're gonna cool the air going into the motor. Problem is once you add a tune and some other performance modifications, the factory intercooler is just not doing enough to cool down the air. I believe you said you saw intake temps of about 140 degrees on the way up here.
Yeah.
We're gonna lower those substantially with our Steeda front mount intercooler. Once we're done with that front mount intercooler, we're gonna focus on the rear of the car.
Focus.
Focus, get that? No pun intended. Obviously this car is meant to go around the turns, right? So it's a very good handling car, capable handling car from the factory. We were talking, he's got some additional chassis braces on here. We're gonna add our Steeda rear sway bar to it. Once we get the car up in the air, we're gonna show you the difference with the Steeda sway bars and every other sway bar out there on the market. We were the very first in the industry to incorporate billet sway bar ends into our sway bars. What that means is when you take your tubular sway bar, instead of stamping, crushing, or coining the ends to then drill your holes in it, we actually take billet steel, 1018 steel to be exact, CNC machine those billet ends, TIG weld them on there, and what that's gonna do is gonna give you the ultimate durability. All of our Steeda parts made here have a lifetime warranty, therefore we gotta make sure that they last a lifetime. That's why we CNC and put billet steel ends on all of our Steeda in-house sway bars.
All right, so we're about to throw this Steeda intercooler into my 2014 Focus ST, and my friend Jamie's gonna be helping me. Jamie, what do you do here at Steeda?
As little as humanly possible.
A man after my own heart.
I do all of the installs, all of the mechanical work, do all of the upkeep on our cars, and help with R&D.
And you're a Florida boy like I am. You drive all the way to Valdosta from Tallahassee every day.
Yes, I do.
All right, well, a couple of Florida boys gonna get our hands dirty. We're gonna tear this bad boy apart and let it rip. So this is the new intercooler. Quite a substantial difference in size, capacity, and we got these metal end tanks as opposed to the plastic for longevity, for durability. And this one doesn't have 38 frog carcasses in it, so I think it'll work a little better. I think it'll work a little better than stock. All right, that's the install. We're done. Intercooler, sway bar, ready to rock and roll. I really appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. I saw you got in the zone. I didn't want to get in your way. I know I offered to help, but you're ready to just rock and roll by yourself. I think it's time to just kind of get this thing on the road and test it out.
Yeah, now it's time to go drive and see what it does.
All right, so we have that rear sway bar installed. We got the intercooler installed. I cannot thank the guys at Steeda enough. Plug your site. Where can we find these parts?
Steeda.com. All the parts are through in the car here, made right here in Valdosta, Georgia. The intercooler is going to give them cooler air intake temps. Rear sway bar is going to keep it flat in the turns and ensure that Andrew and Wrench all day is going to really enjoy his Focus ST.
Well, I appreciate it. I got to go, man. I have some parts to test out.
Some rubber to burn too,
That's
right?
That's right.
All right.
So when I was driving up to Steeda, my intake temps got up to 137 degrees, and that was just from a mild pull from the on-ramp onto the highway. I just did almost a full throttle pull, and it got up to 97 degrees, and it's 93 degrees outside, 4 degrees above ambient. Having 3 times the volume as the stock intercooler in the Steeda intercooler is so effective. There is so much more surface area, so you can cool the air so much more effectively. It's just, the car pulls so much harder now. It's hard, it pulls harder and it pulls more consistently. I can't tell you how excited I am to finally have horsepower that I can use whenever I want, instead of having to worry about heat soak, turning the car off, waiting for it to cool down, turning it back on. In a moment, I'll do a passing maneuver, and I'll get on it, and we'll see just how high the temperatures go. Or we could have someone almost kill us. All right, so here we go, passing maneuver, full throttle. It's staying at 97 degrees and it's 95 out right now. The temperature outside went up to 95, and throughout that whole pull, it stayed at 97 degrees. This is just unreal. Oh man, I feel kind of dumb for having put this mod off for so long, and I cannot thank Steeda enough for their expertise in helping me get this intercooler thrown on this car so I can really enjoy it. I'll tell you what, this rear sway bar is incredible too. This front wheel drive chassis is actually oversteer biased. It likes to step out around corners. But with this sway bar, the whole car feels like it's just being sucked to the ground. So I can just plant it around a corner, and it really feels super similar to the way the Type R Civic drove that we had as a rental when we were in Los Angeles. This thing is just getting more and more dialed. That Steeda rear sway bar working in tandem with all of my TB Performance chassis bracing. It feels silly how well this car handles now. It's pretty spectacular.
A massive thanks to everyone at Steeda for helping make this video possible. Use code WrenchEveryday10 to get 10% off select Steeda parts on your next order. And as always, wrench every day.